Call Don right now, 682-1270.
News Talk 1270, KIML, Don Carpenter Show. And I do believe on the phone we should have Denise Burke from the Wyoming Bar Association.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Denise. Thanks for calling. And you're calling today. You're actually, I guess you're working with Army OneSource to start up a program to provide legal services for veterans returning from overseas and deployments. Could you give us a little bit of an idea? I mean, is this the first time you've worked with Army OneSource?
That's correct, Don. This is a nationwide program. It was actually launched. The primary focus was for the time period from July 30th to September 17th. And in essence, what this program is to reach out to the state bar associations throughout the country to encourage attorneys to provide their willingness to help the returning vets with the wide variety of legal issues that they are facing as returning veterans. And so the focus has really been on providing a wide range of those legal resources, everything from providing educational training to actually free or reduced fee legal services for these veterans. I was quite interested in the article that you were airing just before I came online. A great segue into what we are talking about. Army OneSource, while the name suggests that is just the U.S. Army, that is not the case. It's for all returning veterans and for all branches of the service. The Army is simply the one who headed up this particular program. And I think, as the prior story also suggested, the issues that our returning veterans are facing are huge. And so this is a great program to provide a variety of sources for them to be able to deal with those issues.
Sure. So what kind of issues do you see these returning vets having when they come back from their deployments?
Well, the most common legal issues are bankruptcy, landlord-tenant issues, child support, foreclosures, believe it or not, identity theft. And that's a very interesting one that you would surprising that they would be the victims of that kind of scam and so forth. And then a lot of domestic relations issues, child custody, divorce, and unemployment. And it's interesting that the unemployment rate for spouses of military vets is as high as 26%. And so that has become a glaring problem of them returning to the workforce and actually being able to be gainfully employed.
Yeah, and I mean it's really a shame, and this is something it's not a new problem, but this is something we've struggled with for quite a while, and it seems like the guys that give them, guys and gals that give the most, they give the most for us, and when they come back, they face all of these problems, and it's a shame.
It is. It's tragic. I'm just pleased that the Wyoming State Bar and the members of the practicing bar have really stepped up to offer their time and help. And as I said, it's not even necessarily direct legal representation, but just being able to help the vets with, for example, how to deal with the federal housing issues, or how to even go about getting employment if they may be unfamiliar with that. So it's a great outpouring of support from the lawyers in the state of Wyoming.
Sure, and a lot of the service members, they went into whatever branch they went into right out of high school. Many of these service members have never had a regular private sector job, so you're looking not only for somebody, for attorneys that are willing to provide actual services, but maybe also be able to help out with employment as well.
That's correct, absolutely. As I said right at the beginning, I mean, there really are four different major components of this program. One is the thing you would come to mind first is to represent these veterans, either pro bono or reduced rate services for actual legal issues. But we're also offering that we can advise, that we listen and offer direction. May not be something that is actually before a judge or in a court, but there may be legal implications, and they just need some advice of how to pursue that. Another component is the mentoring component, and this is to provide like a legal clinic or addressing common issues in an entire group of veterans. And the fourth group is then the education component, where our attorneys are presenting workshops at, let's say, a drill weekend or a gathering of our veterans to talk about the issues that they are facing. So, again, kind of a four-prong approach.
Yeah, and I know we have a few attorneys that listen, and I know there are probably even more people that might know someone that, might be able to spread the word. How's the response been so far?
It's been excellent. And we are actually going to be in Gillette next. The annual meeting for the Wyoming State Bar is in Gillette. You are our host city. And during that convention, we will be having representatives from Army OneSource who will be hosting a table, and then, of course, the attorneys who are already signed up for this program will be available to answer questions. I have a couple of phone numbers that people can turn to if they are wanting to get more information. First of all, is if any of the attorneys are listening and have not already signed up, call the Wyoming State Bar office, and that number is 307-432-2105 or 307-632-9106. And then for the veterans is a toll-free number, and that's 877-432-9955.
Oh, so you're not only looking for attorneys, but you also are offering the service of maybe finding someone that might be able to help out some of these vets as well.
Right, and basically the toll-free number, the veterans call that number, and the individuals from Army OneSource do kind of an initial discussion and what are the issues that you are needing help with. And they then help partner the veterans who are seeking the assistance with the attorneys who have signed up to be the program guides through this program. So it's a matching of the veterans with the attorneys who are going to be part of Army OneSource.
Well, I mean, it definitely sounds like a great program, and you mentioned you're going to be in Gillette pretty soon, so
we are.
You guys are more than welcome to stop by the studio and talk to us about anything that you want to talk about. Not only this, but whatever else you want to talk about. So, I'll get a hold of you sometime before your meeting. We'll talk about that at a later date.
That's great. So our president is actually a Gillette attorney, president for this year, and that's John Cotton. And so the tradition is that the State Bar president gets to choose the location where the annual meeting is being held. And John, being from Gillette, has suggested we be there, and so we will be at the Camplex.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've been to the Camplex yet, but it's quite a facility. You'll enjoy it.
Sure is. Yeah, you're very fortunate to have that in your community.
Yeah, I actually moved out here from Delaware, and I was just stunned at the facilities we have around here for such a small city. It's really nice.
It sure is. It sure is.
So one more time, I want to make sure we get the information out. If any attorneys want to contact you, give out the information for that first. Sure.
It's the Wyoming State Bar, 307-432-2105. That's the main number, too. Sharon Wilkinson is our communications director, and she would be the contact at that number. And then for the veterans, it's a toll-free number, and that's 877-432-9955.
So whether you're an attorney that wants to help out or a vet that might have some questions, maybe need to be hooked up with the right person, those are the numbers for you. And I want to thank you, Denise. I mean, this is a really great program, and I want to thank you guys for helping out with that, and also Army OneSource for doing their job as well. I mean, it really is. It's such a good thing to actually help these returning warriors out. I mean, they've given so much for us. It's the least we could do to kind of give back to them.
That's correct. You've hit it exactly right. It's our opportunity to show our respect and honor the people who have done such a great service for our country.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I want to thank you again. It's Denise Burke from the Wyoming Bar Association, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon, I'm sure.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. There you go, Denise Burke, the Wyoming Bar Association. So if you're a lawyer and you want to help out, 432-2105, and if you're a vet, 877-432-9955. Just give them a call. Give them a call. It's definitely a great cause. So we'll take a short break. We'll come back, and we'll get back into the serious stuff. News Talk 1270 KIML.
Have an event you'd like to promote on the show? Email Don at doncarpenter@basonsradio.com.